Have you ever wondered how data moves automatically between systems and why this skill is becoming essential for every data engineer? In this video, you will understand how Azure Data Factory pipelines work, from connecting data sources to automating data movement, so you can understand the foundation of real-world data engineering. So watch this video till the end to see how these concepts come together in practical projects. If you are in IT and still stuck in the same salary, not getting enough interview calls, listen carefully. Right now, there are two types of people: those who keep waiting and those who upgrade their skills and move into high paying roles, earning 15 to 45 plus LPA because the market has already shifted. Cloud, data, AI, DevOps. These are the roles driving real career growth today. At Coding Superstars, we have helped thousands of professionals move into top tech roles.
I got placed in Ibex Labs. Previously, my package was 8 lakhs. Now it is around 14 lakhs. Thanks for the Coding Superstar for the guidance, and the course is very worth it.
I have accepted a position as a DevOps engineer at NTI Mindtree. The skills which were taught while Coding Superstar were directly applicable to the role, and I'm confident that they will be essential for my success.
Recognized by Silicon India as one of the top 10 cloud computing training firms in India. People who once had zero coding experience are now working in top companies like Microsoft, Accenture, TCS, Infosys, and more. This is not just another course. This is your path to becoming industry ready. So watch this till the end.
Yeah, recording has started. I'm sharing my screen. Share. Yes, you can see my screen. So this is my Azure homepage. Okay, so I'm going to Data Factory. So I have deleted one Data Factory that I created on the first class. There is one other one. I don't want to maintain these Data Factories. I have one which I can use. So I am just deleting this. To delete the Data Factory, I am selecting this. And here the delete option, clicking on delete. And I have say yes, I know, I am aware of this. And it is asking for the name. That's it. Deleting it. Unnecessarily don't have any data factories just created like that. It will also attract bill if you are using a paid version. So whatever resources is not being used, try to get rid of that. Okay, so this is my data factory. I am going to my data factory, opening it. Okay, in the previous class we learned about linked services, data sets, pipelines, triggers, integration runtimes, right? So today we'll try to build some pipelines. Okay, today we'll try to build some pipelines. First, we need to have a source and a destination so that we can move data from one source to destination, right? So then we'll try building pipelines. So in my Azure, I have one existing storage account, but I'll teach you how to create one again. Storage account I have. You can see two storage accounts, fine. One is Archana, say one. So we'll create a one storage account we'll create so that we can use it as source or destination, right? So say go to storage accounts, say create. So Azure Data Lake Storage and storage accounts are one and the same. So that Azure Data Lake Storage is the name of the service or technology. So in storage account, it uses Azure Data Lake Storage only. Fine. So I'm creating a storage account. It is ask for subscription. A resource group is the same thing. Existing resource group only I'm using it. It is asking for the storage account name. I'll say Archana storage account -2 22 SA2. Okay, region East US only. So primary service, I'm using it for Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2, Azure Blob or Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. I'm using for this only. Okay, Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2, that is the technology, and storage account is our storing space. Okay, performance, I am selecting standard only. Standard will work for you because for practice this would be enough. Again, going to premium, it would attract pricing, right? So redundancy, select this by default, not an issue. Go to advanced. Mm, advanced, you can, there is some option called namespace. Just a second, admit all. So, yeah, in advanced, all the options you can leave it like that. You don't need to touch them. You have something called enable hierarchical namespace. So you check that so that you can have folders inside folders and files inside folders. If you don't check this, if you don't tick this, what will happen is it will not allow you to put more folders inside folders, so that you can't segregate between themselves. Okay, so you should check this first, and you go to networking all fine. And as a data engineer, you will not be creating these storage locations or any of the services. The infra guys or DevOps guys will take care of this. We are creating this. I'm just showing this because if you want to practice, you will have to create storage account and say uh, storage account and one SQL DB, so that we can move data between storage account and SQL DB. And a couple of classes after, we'll create some source on a on-prem server also, so that we can fetch data from there. We'll try doing that. So not much changes. What did we do? We selected all the things in basic. In advanced, we selected only this enable hierarchical namespace. That one thing we have checked and nothing else. Go to review and create. It will review for a couple of seconds, then you can create. This is creation of storage account. Okay, it's a deployment in progress. Once it's completed, we can access the storage account. Yeah. So you can come to your home. Okay, deployment successful. When you go to your storage accounts, you can, if you refresh, you should find your new storage account here. Yeah, Archana said 22. This is a storage account that I created just now. You can click on this, go inside this. All you will access is in data storage, you have containers. For now, we'll access this only. Later, we'll know what can be used in this storage account, what other solutions or what other options. You go to containers. There are no containers here, it's only blank. So on above say plus container, create one container, put some name. I'll put it as input data. We'll use it for input data and say create. And again, I'll create a different container which says output data. Okay, so we have two containers here. In containers, you can click on it, it will open. Here you can upload files from your desktop system also, or you can create folders here. Okay, to upload files from your computer, say upload, and you can upload files here. Any CSV files, any you have for practice, you can upload it here. Okay, so for now we'll go back. I'm going back. So I have created a storage account so that I can practice on my pipelines. Now what I'll create an SQL server. I have already a server, but I'll show one more. Say create. I need one SQL server and one database so that I can move data between the database and storage account. So pipeline is like I need one source and one destination, right? So we can make use of these. So Just a second. Just a second, guys. Okay, subscription resource group is fine. Server name, it wants me to give some server name. So say I'll use the same name. Just a second, guys. Somebody is trying to join the meeting and they're unable to join. Okay, server name SRVR22. Okay, location is ESQS only. I'm by default I'm using that. In authentication method, for now what we'll use is use SQL authentication, where we have to declare the user login ID and password here, and whenever we are accessing a database or server, it will ask for the same ID and password. Okay, for now we are using this because we are not gonna configure Microsoft or SQL and Microsoft. We'll discuss them later. For simple purpose, we'll use this. Admin login would be admin only. You need to write it down somewhere, because once you forget it, it's of no use. Whenever you are creating it, just note it down. Password.
Hi Shashank. Sorry to
Yes.
interrupt.
Yes,
I'm
tell me.
not following up with this SQL server creation. I just created that storage. I'm not able to find this SQL server option under the home tab.
We'll
Can you
go
just
back.
go back and check?
Uh, Cyber SQL on this. Second option is SQL servers.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah. Let me check that.
Yeah.
So for this step, do we need the pre-installation of SQL Server in our system?
You don't need anything. This
Okay.
is running completely on cloud. You are accessing the cloud via the web browser. So there is nothing needed on your system. So if you are trying to so there is an option to maintain this server through an independent system like your desktop also, but for our purposes we'll be just using the server and the database from Azure platform only. From browser only we'll use it.
Okay.
Generally in real-time scenarios, what happens is people will install the SSMS, which is a server management system, on a server or their system, and from there these SQL DB admins will access the server. So for us that is not needed, because we'll be not administering the server. Only basic things we'll do, so we can just do it here only.
Okay.
Shashank, which one to select in that?
Yeah, you create one SQL servers. You came to the screen.
No, like I searched with that keyword and it's showing 4 options for me.
SQL server. When I say SQL,
Mhm.
it should say SQL servers.
SQL servers.
One is databases, one is SQL servers, one is SQL Elastic Pools, one is SQL managed instances.
Yeah, I got it now.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, SQL servers. And who else? Somebody was sending a message. Samir, what is the issue? What did you send me?
It was the same thing, like I was getting that
Okay,
four
okay, fine, fine,
options.
fine.
I got it now.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm creating. Click on create. Okay, so this is a same resource group. I'm using the same resource group. Server name XRVR22. Give some server name. Write it down so that you'll use it. For authentication method, use SQL authentication for now. After we understand data engineering some stuff, we'll go and use the other authentications. I'll teach you how different authentications will help you communicate between different services. Okay, so admin login ADMINAR R22. This is what I created. Password.
So from where we'll get this server admin login and
You are
password?
creating one. You are creating one now.
Okay, okay.
You are creating the server, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you are giving the admin password for the first time. That's why I'm asking you to note it down somewhere.
Okay.
This
Got it.
admin login, you can put anything. You can put your name also,
Mhm.
Samir.
Okay.
Right? Got me right? Okay. This and say review plus create. Okay, just come down. Just a second. I'm going to basics here. Somewhere it'll ask for which type of security, additional settings, tags, review plus create. Okay, SQL server is fine. Then database, it'll ask me special cost. No additional charges for server. There are no additional charges. Estimated cost per month. I am creating this. I'll create a database in the server. Okay. The server is being deployed. Let it deploy. We'll create a database in this. Uh, okay, so I'll go to this resource. Say go to resource. You will see server here. Then when you go to the server, you have an option called create database on the top. Left side top, you'll have create database. We'll create a database in this server. So SQL database pay as you go resource group, and it has picked up the famous server. Then it will ask me for database name. Okay. ARCHNSQLDB22. Fine. On the right, it will show you how much it is gonna cost you. Storage, see, estimated compute cost is 22,000 and storage cost is 20 rupees. And you can say it is a development environment, not production. Now the cost came down. If you can see, the estimate storage cost is 398 per month and compute cost is somewhere around 12 paisa only. Okay, so this would be 398 development. You can still, so compute plus storage, you can configure database. We'll try to reduce this serverless provisioned will increase the price. Serverless is less. Max course will make it to 1 for our data. This is enough. When we wanted to work with large amount of data, then we'll come and create a bigger one. Data max size 32 GB. It says you can reduce this. I am gonna use only 15 GB or say 16 GB. I am just putting it. So my my expenditure came to 199 per month. Fine. This is for SQL DB. Okay. Here I created the compute and all. Now I am saying apply. It came like this, and backup storage redundancy. You don't need any backup. So we'll say zone. Okay. Locally redundant is fine. Go to networking. You don't need to touch anything in networking or security. Thing would be there in this additional settings, tags, review plus create. So storage cost is giving me 199 per month. We are using the free ones. You can create it free only. It will not charge for that. After you convert it to pay as you go. If you are not planning on using the SQL DB, you can just delete it for 3-4 days. If you are not going to use, there is some holiday or a weekend, you can just delete it, come back on Monday again and just create it, so that you will save something. You can do that also.
Directly from here delete option we can delete.
Yes,
right?
yes. You go to your servers, you will see. For servers, it's not going to charge anything. When you go to your servers, you will see what are all the SQL DBs available there. There you can just delete your SQL DB.
Okay. If you show the
Yes, I'll show you. This is deploying. Let it deploy. I'll show you.
Okay. Okay, if you come to your home page and you have SQL servers here, SQL databases, or else you can search on the search bar. When you say SQL, you have SQL databases. When you click on this, it will show you all the SQL databases that are there. So this is the database which I have created now, Archana SQL DB22. You can just click on this, and there is a delete option here. You can delete this as well right away. You can delete this. It will ask you yes or no again, and you can delete it. Fine. Any service you can just delete that. It will not stop you for anything. Okay. Only thing is the data in that it will get all lost. That's it. But it will not stop you to delete any service because you would be the admin for all, because you logged in with your credentials and all. You would be the admin, default admin. So it will allow you to do this. But in real time, when you're working in an organization, these services creation and deletions it will not allow.
And this will not be our part to do this, right?
Yes, creation and all this will not be your part. The DevOps guys, or for SQL there will be an SQL DB admin who will have access to create servers or create DBs and manage that. Or if it is storage account or any other service, you will not be able to create one. Only after creation they'll give you the access and you can access them and use it. Okay, so the DevOps guy, infra guys or DevOps guy will be there. Infra team or DevOps team will be there. They will do the creation, maintenance and all. After the creation, they'll give you the access. Okay, so this is our DB. I'll just try to access my SQL DB. On creating this, now on the left, you have query editor, something called query editor. This is where you can write your query to create something or fetch data from this or something like that. So the login, it is already populated this ID name which I have created. I am just giving the password, and on the first time it will give me an error. Yeah.
So in a real time, this login credential will be given by the team, right?
Yes. Generally, what happens is in the real time when creation of the server, I have selected for SQL Server authentication, right? In real time, what they'll do is they'll give authentication to your ID itself. Whenever you're logged in, when they have given access to your ID itself, you will be directly able to access this here.
So and we have to go directly to this query editor, right?
Yeah, see, it depends on the use case and your organization also. Generally, you will not have access to go through this query editor. When the database or server is big, they'll definitely have a server placed in which you will have this Microsoft SSMS SQL Server Management System installed, and through that they will be using this server. And that access also, all the developers would not have access to those server also. Only some of you only might have access who want to use. So I'm showing you only this because you have to practice, and for practice you have to set up the SQL Server and database. Generally, in using Data Factory, you will just connect to the server using the credentials and you will get the data.
Okay.
Fine. Okay. So here when I try to log in with ID and password, it says it cannot to SQL Server because it is saying denied public network access. So there is a firewall there. We have to allow my IP address so that I can access this SQL Server. So we'll go to we need to find network or security here. Okay, it will be in my server. We'll go back to SQL Server and we'll come back here again. Go to SQL Servers. This is a new server I have created. Here we'll have networking under security. Go to networking. Okay, here we have public access and go to selected networks. And here allow Azure services and resources to access this service. Other Azure service can access this. You can take this, and there is the option firewall. In firewall rules, you have this option: add your client IPv4 address. See, this is my IPv4. It has already picked up my IP address from my system. So if I add this, whenever I'm trying to access the SQL Server from the system only, it will allow me to access the server. So here I am saying save. So in firewall rules, I added my IP address. It will pick it up. You can just click on this, add your client IPv4 address. So it is still saving. Let it save. Let it update. We'll go back to DB and access it again. Yeah, it has updated, so it gave your notifications here. We'll go back to SQL DB. This is our DB. Again, click on create query editor. we'll try to access. Okay. So it logged in after we provided the IPv4 address exception on the firewall. It could log in. Okay, so on the left it is showing me tables, views, and procedures. It is as usual empty because nothing is created. We created the new database now only. So this is a table. This is a query editor where you will write your SQL queries. Okay. For now, I am not gonna teach you SQL for now. I am just whoever knows it's okay. We'll come back to SQL again. For just for creation of one table, I am writing this query. I'll tell you what this query is also. To create a table, this is the query actually, which says create table employee. Employee is the name of my table, and it has 3 columns, 3 fields. Each one is emp id, which is declared as int, which is an integer format. The other is name, name which is in varchar format, which is variable variable character length. So the other is salary, which is in decimal format. It can be decimal also if you want. You can put it as int also. It is just declared like that. So it is create table. To run this query, you have to select this and say run. It will create. In the messages it says query succeeded, affected row 0. Okay, so it has created the table. On the left pane also, when you refresh, you can see under the tables that employee table has been created. Fine. Okay, so let it be, and just note down what all columns we have created. This is employee ID, name, salary. Okay, these are the 3 columns we have on SQL database. Fine. So what we'll do is we'll go back to okay, I'll go to my storage account. This is a new storage account. Archana said 22, that's I created. Go to containers. I have created 2 containers already in this class only. Go to input data. Okay, so I will try to upload a file here. First I'll create an file on my system. I'll say employee ID, name, and salary here. I'll give some values. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll give some name. Some name with D, 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 okay, E, F, G, say 70, 60, T. Okay, I'll try to save it as PC downloads. emp.csv. I'm saving it as a CSV file. Okay, it got saved in my downloads. You know what to do. It is a CSV file. Fine. What I'll do is I'll upload it to my. There is an upload option inside the container. I'll say upload. It will ask browse for the files. You can browse on your computer and select the CMP file and say upload. It just got uploaded here. Here you can just click on this emp.csv also and go to the third option, edit, and see whether the data is there or not. So whatever you have put the data in the CSV file, it just got uploaded. You have successfully done that. So now we'll go to your data factory and we'll try to build our first pipeline. This is my existing data factory. Launch Studio. So what we'll do is we have our source, source CSV file in our storage account. We'll try to push the data to my database. There is a table in my database. We'll try to, so the data is same, right? So I have created similar data. Three columns on my, there is three columns on my source. So I'll push same data onto my destination also. Fine. Okay. So what first, as I have discussed in my previous class, if you want to connect your source or to your destination, we have to create link services first. Okay, so I'll delete the existing link services. Okay. It is asking me to delete the data sets also. We'll delete and start afresh. So whenever you are using a link service in a pipeline or dataset in a link service, if you are trying to delete the link service, the all related pipelines and datasets, it will ask it is related. If you are deleting this, it's got a problem and issue. So I am deleted those datasets and pipelines also. So fine. I'm going to my link services, say new link service, and it is gonna ask me what kind of link service, what kind of source is my source, what type of source is my source. So my source is storage account. Storage account is nothing but ADLS Gen 2. When we have created the storage account, we have selected what type of storage account it is, what it is used for. It is using Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. So here also I'll select this. Okay, I'll select this and say continue. Now it is asking where is my storage account. So I have to declare a name for this link service. So I'll say storage account 1. This is name of my link service. Then it is asking connect via integration runtime. So there is only one integration runtime which is created by default. I am selecting the same integration runtime. Okay, then it is asking for an authentication type. So there are different authentication type. For now, I am using only account key. For account key means it will verify based on if all the resources are based on my login or not. It will check that only. But going forward, we'll discuss other types of authentication also, how system assigned works, how user assigned works, how service principal works and all. For now, it is checking only by my login only, which I have logged in, right? With my login only, it will check whether I'll be able to access the storage account or not. So authentication type, I am selecting account key only. So account selection method, I am selecting Azure subscription for now. For next pipeline, I'll show you how we are doing with enter manually. For now, select Azure subscription. Go to Azure subscription. When you drop down, it will show you which subscription you are using. For you, it will say free subscription here. Here, since I am using this one, it is showing up and I am selecting this pay as you go. Then when I select this, I can click on storage account names. Then it will list out all the storage account names that are available under this subscription. Okay, so I am selecting this Archana SA22. My file is in this storage account, right? So I am selecting Archana SA22 here. Okay, so now as soon as I have selected this, using my login only, it has understood that the connection is there. Here on the right side bottom, I have something called test connection. If I click this, it will just test connection to the storage account once and it will say it has connected or not. Okay, it says connection successful. Then I can create this link service. Okay, now I have created the link service to connect to my storage account. Now this is link service for source is created. Now what I'll do, I have to create a link service to connect to my database also. That is my destination now. Okay, so again click on new, and here I have to find out what Azure SQL DB. I have created DB in where, what type of DB it is. It is Azure SQL DB. So I have to find out where Azure SQL DB is. See here it is there, Azure SQL database. Click on this, say create. You can name this. This is my SQL DB1. I'll say SQL DB1, my linked services name. Here again integration runtime. This is the default one, using this for now. Version recommended is fine. Account selection method, I'm using it from subscription only. From subscription, all these values will be populated. If I the next pipeline we'll do manually and we'll get the data from there. For subscription, I'm using pay as you go. Then under pay as you go, what all the servers are there, here it will list out. So the server I selected is Archana SRVR22, the server which I created now. And again, when I have created a server, it will list out all the databases that are available under the server. So here I'll select the database. This is the SQL DB22, that is the database that I have created. So here it is asking me for what type of authentication to be used. While creation of server, we have given that we'll be using SQL authentication only. So I am using SQL authentication. Username, it is we have created one username, right? So we'll use that only. ADMINAR22, that's the username. Here we have to give the password. There is something called Key Vault also. Key Vault, here option Azure Key Vault, right? Key Vault is nothing but we can store passwords in the Key Vault, and there will be a reference name for that password. So whenever you are connecting, you are using Key Vault and connecting that, you will directly not use password, you will show that reference name. So what Azure Data Factory will do, it will go to the Key Vault and fetch that password and use it here, so that password is not leaked or it is not compromised. Okay, so here I am using normal hard-coded password only. When we go to Azure Key Vault, we'll learn and do how to do Azure Key Vault. Okay, here username, I put it this, the password which I created with server, the same password. Come down, encryption is mandatory, hostname certificate is not needed. You say test connection is successful, say create. Okay, so I have created a storage account, link service to create to my storage account. I have created link service to go to my SQL DB also. So that's when I have explained about link services. While creation of this, what all did we give? We just selected the server name, DB name and credentials. That's what, right? So while creating storage account also, we just selected the storage account name, and we did not, this did not have any credentials also, because it was just selecting it, it is accessing it by my credentials name only. For SQL DB, since while creation we used SQL authentication, so it is asking for ID and password, and just with credentials we have created a link service to this SQL DB one also. Okay, SQL DB 22, whatever it is. Okay, so we created link services. Now after link services, what do we need? We need to create data sets. So we have just pointed at particular storage account. Here in the storage account, we have pointed storage account only, but we did not point to which file we have to copy. The same way here we pointed at SQL DB and table name also, but we did not point, we pointed to database only, but we did not select which table to copy. So for that is defined in datasets. We'll go to this other tab, and here we have datasets. You click on this three buttons and all, go to new dataset. Again a pane opens. So first we'll create dataset for the storage account. So again, what kind of storage account it is? It is Azure Data Lake Gen 2. We'll select this, go to continue, and here it is asking what type of file is there in my storage account. So I have uploaded an CSV file, right? So I'll select this CSV file and I'll check continue. And here it is asking to name my data set. So this is my storage account DS1, or we'll say CSV DS1, and we have to so this data set has to be under some linked service, right? So first when the pipeline uses a link service, it will find out what link service it is there, which storage account to go. Then after that it will go to which file it should pick up. So here we are creating a data set. So this data set should know which link service to use. So we need to use storage account 1. There is only one storage account 1, because when we have selected type of data set on the first time, what did it show? We have selected Azure Data Lake Storage. So that's why all the Azure Data Lake Storage type of link services it will show here. So here there is only one Azure Data Lake Storage type of link service. So we are select this link service here. So here it is asking me where my file is. So here I can browse. It will directly go to my storage account and see what are folders are there. Here I can select the file. Okay, here I can select the file and say okay. So my data set is created to point at the emp.csv file which is in my storage account. So for that, after creation of dataset, I have to say publish all, or else it will not be saved. Here it will show on the left side top to publish all, so that my data is saved. For link service creation, only if you hit on save, it will be saved. But dataset is kind of part of the pipeline which is related to the pipeline. So you whenever you create it, you have to publish it. Okay, this is one dataset to create the storage account. Now we need to create another dataset to create connect to the table in our database. So now we have to find out where Azure SQL DB is. So this is Azure SQL database. Say continue, and here it is asking for name. I will say SQL DB dataset. It is asking for which linked service to connect. Click on it. There is only one linked service which is type of this SQL DB that it is showing up. Select this, and now it is asking to which table to select. So drop down, there is only one table there. So it is that if there are more tables, you will see all the tables that are in this SQL DB. Since we have only created one table, it is showing that table. Select this table. Okay. So then you say okay, and you do the publish all. This will be saved. This data set will also be saved. Now we have created link services both for our source and destination. Source is pointing at storage account. Destination link service is pointing at SQL DB. Then again we created our data sets. The dataset one is pointing it at our file in the storage account. The destination dataset is pointing at the table in our SQL DB. Fine. So we can just close this pane since it is published. We'll go to pipelines and say new pipeline. So our requirement is to copy the data in the CSV file to the table in the SQL DB. That is my requirement. So for that, I have activities. Here it is activities. The basic activity first we'll learn is copy activity. You just say copy here. You can see copy data activity. You can just left click and pull it here. It will come here. For copy data activity, what all we have to declare are the source and sink value. Source is your source, where your source is. Sink is nothing but your destination. If we give the values of source and sink, it will copy data from your source to sink. Fine. On the first general pane, it is asking for your name to name the copy activity. You can name anything. You can say copying data from storage account to SQL DB. You can put any longer name also. It will save, not an issue. You can describe that here. Put some whatever it does. You can put it. Okay, it should be in activated state so that it will perform, or else if it is in deactivated state, it will not run. Even if you run it, it will not work. Okay, and this is timeout and retry. I'll explain you when needed. What is this is whenever since the storage account is an Azure platform only and under my subscription only, it will not take much time to connect to that source, right? But whenever say there is some external source like HTTP or FTP or say some source on on-prem server, it will take time to connect. So for that we'll be declaring how much time it should run and try to connect to it, and how many times it should retry. Because when you are trying to hit some data on HTTP or an API, sometimes that may be busy and it may be waiting to get the data from there. For that we'll use this timeout and retry. Whenever we are connecting to any external source, we'll use this. For now we are not touching this. We are going to source tab. Here it is asking which dataset should connect. So my source is which dataset? this CSV wala dataset. I am selecting CSV here. Okay. So I just created. I am not touching any other options for now. This is enough. Now I am going to sync. I am selecting my SQL DB wala dataset. So when we have created the dataset in the particular link service, so here we don't need to create the link service again. Okay, so when I have selected this SQLDB dataset in the sync, here we have options of write behavior. Since it is SQLDB dataset, right? It is understanding that what it should do. It should insert data or upsert data or stored procedure. I am only using insert data. We'll go to the options later. It is actually bulk insert, normal insert only, table option, use existing only. If I get auto create, what happens is whenever you're trying to push the data, when this ADF has access to your SQL DB, when you select this auto create table, it will automatically create table and push the data into it. And and in background, how will it create table automatically? What will it do is it will fetch the schema. I mean, whatever columns are there in the source file only, accordingly it will create the columns in the new table and it will push the data into the table. That also we'll try later. For now we are using only use existing table only. Okay, so since data set is created, we are using existing table. We will go to mapping. What happens in mapping is we need to relate the both source schema. Schema means whatever columns are there, that data format, and destination also schema. Destination schema should be matched, so that pipeline should understand which column values will go to which column values, right? When we say import schemas, it will go to source and destination both, and it will populate here. So it went to source also, it got 3 schemas here: EMP-ID, name, salary. It went to destination also, it got 3 schemas here: EMP-ID, name, salary. So it uses some of its intelligence to match whichever it is. So for CSV, everything is in string only, so it is showing string values only. You can just push it like this. So here on table, we have declared EMP-ID as int, name as varchar, and salary as decimal. So it has picked up those import schemas we have done. So these are all connected. If there is some column missing or anything, it will ask us to create or do whatever it is. That we'll see in more complicated pipelines. So here we have declared source, we have declared sync, and we have done the mapping also. Now we'll say publish all. So all these changes made, all this creation we have made, that is being saved on this copy activity. This copy activity is connected to the datasets. On source, it is dataset that is connected to storage account. On sync, it is the dataset that is connected to SQL DB. So now it is done. It is published. Now what we can do is we can validate and run this. To run, the option is debug here. Whenever we say debug, actually the pipeline will run. So the copy activity will be performed. Okay. So first we'll validate this. We'll come to triggers later. Okay, first whenever we say debug, actually the pipeline will run. It's not like just running in the background. Actually the data will transfer from source to destination. When we say debug, the whatever activities are there, that will come in the bottom, right? So there is only one activity, copy data activity. It is showing my activity name, whether it is running or not. It is queued actually. It will showing run start time when it started and all. It will get refreshed every 5 seconds. You can refresh also or else. So it's already done. It took 16 seconds to copy that data. So my data has been gone from my source to destination. We'll go to source. We know what data is there. We'll go to destination and see whether the data has moved to destination or not. Go to home. What is my destination? SQL database. Go to SQL DB 22. Query editor. I need my password. I am logging in. I have my table. To understand what are all the records are in the table, the basic query is select star from this dbo.employee semicolon. You select this, you run. We'll again run SQL just for the sake of checking the data. I'm just using this query. Most of you are already data analysts, you will know this. Select star from employee. I am running this. So whatever data is on my source, that has come here. You can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 names and their salaries. This is the data, right? This is the Excel file I have converted into CSV, and I have uploaded. The same data has moved from my source to destination. Basically, this is a simple activity. This is nothing. Only thing is, what we have to understand here is what links are, how we have created the link services, and how we have created the data sets which are connected to the link services. And based on that, this copy data activity has here we have declared the source, right? So again, sync we have declared. It is fetching the data from the source and putting it in the sync. The same thing happens in a pipeline. If there are more activities, first activity will have copy data, here source will be there, then the data will be flowing, more transformations will be happening. At the end, again we have to put the data somewhere. We'll use a copy activity or a different activity. There the sync will be whatever it's needed. So we'll build pipelines like this, more with more activities other than this. So this is the basic copy data activity where we have used link service and data set. And which one is the other pillar which I have discussed is the integration runtime. So there is only one integration runtime, and we can check where it is used also. Here in source, right, there is source data set. You can say open. It will show more details when you set open. When you say open, it is showing me file path, where my file path is, which we have selected while creation of this data set, right? Input data, EMP CSV. We can use these also. We'll use this later. And here when you say test connection, here also in dataset you can check. When you say test connection, it will again go to link service and test the connection. You can click it here. It will test the connection, use the link service, and it will tell you whether the connection is there or not. And again we have the option called edit. If you go to edit, it will show this link service details. Click on edit, it will show the link service details. These are link service details that we have created. Okay, and again we have something called preview data here. If you say preview data, it will go to the source and show you data, whatever data is there. Normally when the data is more, it will show me 10 rows here. Since the data is only 7 rows, it is showing me all 7 rows, or it will show me only 10 rows here. Okay, fine. This is the preview data. When you say storage account and edit, here you can see that when we have created the link service, we have selected this integration runtime. So that link service is using this integration runtime only. So that is the integration runtime that we are using. So we are using link services here, data sets here, integration runtimes here, and this is my pipeline. What is left is trigger. Okay, so how do we attach a trigger to this? There is some option called trigger here, add trigger. So basic, you click on this trigger, you say new edit. Okay, new edit. Okay, when you say trigger now, before this, to run this pipeline we have used debug, right? The same way we can trigger this also. When you say add trigger, for just for running purposes, you can trigger now. If you trigger now also, the pipeline will now run, but the running of the pipeline is not shown here in this tab. It will be shown in this monitor tab. There is something called monitor here. You go to monitor, and here is your pipeline running, pipeline 1. So we have clicked trigger now, right? So now the pipeline is running instantaneously. If you have attached once a trigger and put on some schedule like some time and we have run it, at that time the pipeline will start running, and here you can monitor it. Okay, so it is already running, it is succeeded. Then we'll check what has happened. Maybe the data has been inserted twice, right? Because one time we hit on debug, the data came here. Now again we hit on trigger, the pipeline ran again. So you will see the data again here. You have duplicate data here. So I did not declare any kind of primary key or duplicate values not to insert and all, since I have created a basic table which can accept anything. You got this data again and again. If you don't want duplicate values and all, you will design your table as per primary keys and not to have duplicate values and all. That you can do. That we'll do later. So these are the two ways. One, we can debug and see whether the pipeline is working or not. You can trigger also.
तो ये जो ट्रिगर्स है ये शेड्यूलिंग के लिए यूज होते हैं क्या?
Yes, trigger is used for scheduling. Here, when you say add trigger, there is something called new edit also. When you go to new edit, here you can create the trigger. First, it is saying choose trigger. I'll say new. There is no existing trigger there, so I'll say new. So I can create a new schedule trigger here. That's my trigger name. I'll say copy one is my trigger name. Here type, I'll use schedule trigger only. It is asking start date. It is asking start date and time. So start date is 19th only. I'll say 22. Say 22:05 after 2 minutes. 22:05 6 make it 0. Okay, so it is Chennai Calcutta only. I have selected 19th चाहिए ना मुझे 19th 22:05. Okay, 19th at 10:05 this should run. I am reoccurrence every 15 minutes it should run. I am saying start trigger on creation. Okay, publish. I am saving this data. So now the trigger is created and attached to this pipeline. Whenever it is 10:05, we should see that pipeline should start run. So where will we see our pipeline running? We will go to monitor tab. Still publishing. We'll see. Okay. Now we say refresh. It is still 10:04. Everything is saved. As soon as it is 10:05, we'll see our pipeline running. This is a previous run, right? This is previous run which is shown by manual trigger. I did this manually, right? So it is a manual trigger. When 10:05 is when this time, there will be another run that will show up and it will say schedule trigger. We'll see that.
Okay, and what we do, like if we want to upload multiple CSV files,
Yes.
like
You can do how many files you want, you can upload.
it in the same pipeline.
Yes.
Okay.
You see, when we created a data set, we are pointing at one file, right?
Yes.
That file only to pick it up. If you want to point at a different file, you have to create a different data set. And you want to have this happening in dynamical fashion, I'll tell you in the later pipelines.
Okay.
Yep.
Hello.
Yes.
In mapping part,
Yeah.
there in source and destination, the data types is different.
Yes. Yes.
Then how will be mapping?
It will convert the data. That's why we are mapping this. We are telling which column should be mapped to this. So it will convert the data internally. The data factory will take care of that. Because my source, you can't, for a CSV file, you can't declare data type, right? Everything will be in string only. My source is my CSV file. So my destination is my SQL table where data is in different data types. This conversion of data is done by data factory internally.
So instead of CSV file where all the data types is shown as a string, so instead of CSV file, if we are taken any other flat file like say Excel or XML,
yes.
then what will be happen?
Then also if you have in this columnar format, it will convert. If data types, if we'll do with Excel file also, if the data types are already declared, it will show the data types here. If it is matching, it's okay. Then or else it will convert. See, it is like whatever it is capable of, it will convert. If it cannot convert, it will tell us. Then we should employ some activity here to take care of that particular column. Okay, there is limit to this data factory also, which it can convert, right? So there is sometimes there is some data in the column, or there is some which it cannot convert. Maybe there are some special characters, something like that. It cannot convert. That time it will show errors. So that is where our data cleaning or data transformations come in. So we'll use different activities to handle that kind of data. Normally, if data is clean like this only, in Excel file also, we can use it. You try yourself today, it will convert, not an issue, it will convert. Here only thing is, while creating the data set, you will select Excel file. You can just create in the same way. Here we have selected CSV file, right? The same way you can select Excel file and it will run.
Okay, so if in source part, if any changes in the data, so that will be reflect in a real time on the database, SQL database.
I didn't get you.
So
You are
in
saying
source
some.
part,
So no,
yeah.
we have run this pipeline once, right? It is not continuously running now.
Okay.
We
My
have run.
question is that if the changes in a source file,
Yes.
so it will be reflect on the destination side?
If you run the pipeline, then it will reflect on destination side. That's what I'm saying. ये pipeline हमने चलाई है एक बार. We have run the pipeline for once. When we run the pipeline, it took the data from the source, brought it, it put in the destination. Whenever the change, if you have made the changes on the source, in the next pipeline run, it will change, it will update the destination.
Okay, yeah. So if in the source part some blank part is there or
Okay.
some
Okay.
error
Now,
part is there, then what
yes.
will be happen?
So that's what we have not handled any of that here. We are just telling this: get to your source, bring the data, put it here. We have built a simple pipeline. Whenever we want to handle some null values, if null values are there, put it as 0, or if there are some other values, we have to transform it all. That is what we are building pipelines for. We have to handle by creating different activities here. That's what we'll do. You got me?
Got it, got it.
This will not do it internally. We have something called, say, filter activities. If we want some only by filter condition, we not to filter some activity, we'll have this, or we have something called data flows. Inside these data flows, we will have so many transformations that can be done. By using those transformations, we'll filter data, we'll transform data, then after that we'll send it to SQLDB. Basically, we'll build the pipeline to handle those errors. If there are no errors, or if the errors are going directly to the destination, there is no need for this pipeline, right? We are building this pipeline to do the data cleaning purposes and data transformations. We'll do those. See, this pipeline will not know what the data is first. We are the data engineers that will do the data analysis. I mean, what we call it as exploratory data analysis. We'll get that, look at the data, we'll say what kind of errors are there, what kind of transformations are needed. We'll know that. Then we'll build a pipeline such that those errors are handled and the transformation is made, and then the data is sent to the destination. That is our job. For that only we are building these pipelines. Here we build a pipeline just to transfer the data. This is nothing. Actually, we'll have so many steps where we are taking care of data cleaning and transformations. That's what our job is.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. Step by step, we'll learn that. We are learning. We are, organization is hiring us to do that only. We are building a pipeline such that those activities are done on the data and it is given to destination as required. They have the requirements. The data should be in this format only. We have to meet that and give it to them. Whenever the project comes to us, like there is some use case, we have one requirement of building a pipeline. They'll tell you the source is this is in this format, the data is in format, I'll send you some sample, then we'll get the sample, what kind of data is there, what kind of data it may come, what kind of errors may come, that we'll have to analyze. Okay, that we'll do on our own. We'll talk to the person who is giving us the requirement also. We'll talk, whether it is a client or a different team member, anyone, we'll talk to them what kind of data is coming into that, what errors may come, it is already checked or not. If my source is an SQLDB, you don't need to check for data types, right? Because it's all clearly declared there in the SQLDB. Here my source is CSV file, so here everything is a string only. If my source is SQLDB, you don't need to check for data types. You have to check for null values or zero values, something like that, if it is not defined there. So that we have to see. Based on that only, we'll be building pipelines. Like this error may come, this data may come with null values. There is a scope for that. Based on the data, we'll put conditions in our pipeline that data is also handled. If null value is coming, we'll filter out that whole record. That is as per our use case. If my client says, if there are 10,000 records, if there is some null values, don't push that record. You can filter that record. I don't need that. So I'll filter that record. Say for example, my use case is data is flowing from say Flipkart database, the sales transaction going to my Power BI site, so that he builds the graph insights there or these dashboards there. If there are somewhere around 10,000 transactions, if he is saying that maybe there is a chance of one null value, if say that there is some null value in the customer name or customer data, that is not needed. I just have to know the average sale. You can filter it out. So in my pipeline, what I'll say, I'll get all the data from SQL DB, but I'll take only what are the columns that are needed. If you want to know average sale, only the sale column, sale amount column you'll need, right? You will take only sale amount column, find the average and send it to your Power BI guy. That all logic will build in the pipeline. Whether it is ADF activity only or Databricks activity, or we have to find out, we have to implement that, and we have to build the pipeline as per the use case. That's what we do. Here the use case is just transferring the data from my CSV file to SQL DB. That's it. It is not, we are not checking for anything. Here SQL DB also 2 times we ran the pipeline, 2 times the data went. Okay, what I am doing is I am detaching this trigger, because overnight it will run every 15 minutes and it's gonna bill me. Publish. Okay, if you want to delete my trigger also, let me delete the trigger also, so that I don't want any issue. I will publish. So the same trigger can be used for different pipelines also. In triggers, we'll just declare what time it should start and what is the frequency. So if you have multiple pipelines which are starting at 8 a.m. in the morning and they have to run every 1 hour, a single trigger we can use for all the pipelines. So it will run all the pipelines at 8 a.m. Again, after 1 hour, it runs all the pipelines. The same trigger can be used. Okay, so this is a simple pipeline.